Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all today. Well, unfortunately, we have some more sad information. The son of Brian McKnight, Niko McKnight, passed away from colon cancer. He was 32 years old. 32. 32 years old. So look, let's just have a moment of silence for the brother, and then we'll have our discussion. Okay. So I know Brian is tripping. I know it's heavy on his mind right now. And colon cancer at 32 is a bit much. Yeah, colon cancer at 32 is a lot. That's a lot. Seriously. 32 years old, you have to ask yourself, how does this happen? How? How do you get colon cancer at 32? Make it make some sense. This means that the years of the uh, bad eating has now begun to affect generations. It seems like we're tearing down the human body from so many years of the same thing. I could be wrong. This is just a theory. But our bodies are breaking down and the babies are born weaker. The babies are born weaker. Their colons are not as strong. Mix that with the food is worse. And it looks like it's like generational bad habits. Uh, I can expect that type of diagnosis eventually, where doctors and scientists look into the fact that can we actually really pass down generational bad health? Can the things we do affect generations and not just us? Is it affecting the genes in the people? because 32 is mighty young to pass away from colon cancer. Mighty young. And I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but the numbers are dropping. The numbers are dropping for colon cancer. It's becoming obvious. The first major drop I noticed was Chadwick. He was 43, which was way too young for colon cancer. If he passed away at 43, that means he had it in his 30s. Yeah, that means he had it in his 30s. So if this young man passed away at 32, that means he had colon cancer in his 20s. Let that sink in. Just think about that. He had colon cancer in his 20s. In order for it to affect him at 32. They say he's been fighting it for 2 years, around 2 years, so that's 30. Well, he had it before he started fighting it. Just let that sink in. Just think about that. If you know how colon cancer works, look, it starts out as stage 0. Now, how long do you think it takes to go from stage 0 to stage 4, where it breaks through and then it spreads through the whole body? That means he had it, colon cancer, in his 20s. In his 20s. Now, I'm sure that's not absolute what I'm saying, because it could just be something else with his body. But regardless of that, the numbers are going down. I am 67 years old, and not too long ago, I would have been considered still too young to check for colon cancer. It was something they checked in your 70s. It was something they checked for in your 70s. It took that long before you destroyed your colon, and that's probably because of the large amount of fruits and vegetables that the older generation used to eat. And over the years, the ratio has changed tremendously. The plates have totally been rearranged. When I was a little boy, your plate was arranged differently. So when your mother gave you your plate, there might be some cabbage, and then there might be some corn on the cob. Then there's going to be a bean of some type. And then you might have some chicken. It's going to be 3 vegetables and meat. On special days, 4 vegetables and meat. And the meat wasn't considered the dinner. The meat was always considered just something to help get you full. Meat was never dinner in the black community for sure. And so when we were little children, your mother cooked, and she put the food down there, and you grabbed the chicken, and guess what she would say? She would say, put the meat down and eat your food. And she made a distinction between meat and your food. And your mothers would always say, put that meat down and eat your food. Put that meat down and eat your food. So when I was growing up, in the younger part of my life, I wasn't able to eat the meat like that. That change happened when I got about in 7th, 8th grade. So I'm really ground zero. You know, I'm ground zero for the change in the way we eat. So for a young man like this to pass away from colon cancer and to live with the agony of it at least 2 years is just horrible. For his father to have to see him wither away, his mother have to see him wither away. A lot of times we don't have good relationships with our children when we're men because they're under the mother and there's a little bit of manipulation going on there. Sometimes it's just very difficult to get out of a relationship and get in a new relationship and be able to deal with your children. It's way more complicated than people make it. It's way more complicated because it's easy to say, oh, you got to think about your children. It depends on what happened in the relationship. So they keep calling the son estranged. I mean, it's his son. You leave the estranged out. But colon cancer at 32 is a 911 for sure. The main causes of colon cancer are a combination of genetic environmental factors, including lifestyle choices like diet, alcohol consumption, and tobacco use, as well as age, obesity, and a family history of colorectal cancer. Now, all of this is really not accurate to me. It's double talk because it says diet and then it says alcohol consumption. But if you're eating right, you're not going to be consuming alcohol like that. So if you're into a healthy way of eating, you're not going to be consuming alcohol and you're not going to be consuming tobacco. So really, quiet as it's kept, all of those go together. And then it says obesity. Well, if you're eating right, you're not going to be doing alcohol, you're not going to be doing tobacco, and you're not going to be overweight. And so this is a way they kind of work hard to make excuses for meat, dairy, candy, sweets, and sodas. They just won't say that. Just say that. Because if you're eating flesh and, not a lot of vegetables, you're not going to be able to move your bowels. So your bowels are going to be just kind of sitting there. You might be drinking some red soda or something, and then that's got the dye in it. So you have the dye all in your body. You have the food not passing quickly, so it's rotting because your body is designed to eat the food break down and come out. But if the food starts to break down and don't come out, now you got a problem, because one reason it's not coming out because it's done solidify. So now that it's solidifying, it's basically rotting because it can't get out quick enough. It's supposed to get out before it rots. But if the thing they don't teach about the colon, which is sad, is that you can't stop it up. You can't stop this up. You see the big part of the intestines, but you see how little the colon is? And it's got to go through that colon. And so we're not taught lubrication. See, look at that colon. Don't it look shiny? Does it look dry? It's obviously has some moisture texture to it, like the inside of your jaw. Right? So then you need to put things in there that's going to keep that moist and slippery. Right? You need to put things in there that are moist, that are slippery. Think about it. Just think about it. You have to digest. This food. So you need to put things in there that's moist and slippery. And if you're not fond of vegetables, how are you going to get the moisture in that colon to keep that colon moving? You understand? Think about it. How you going to do it? Just let that sink in. Now, think about it. I don't see how you would be able to do it. But the way we eat, I don't see it. And so you put in this dry stuff in there. Dry on top of dry on top of dry. No lubrication. Soda is not really lubrication because soda has so many chemicals in it that it's not going to work like a water would. So You're going to keep stuffing it, stuffing it, stuffing it, stuffing that colon, stuffing that colon, stuffing that colon, stuffing that colon. With dry stuff. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's fries, dry. The meat, dry. The cheese, dry. The bread, dry. Most of us, when we really get away from eating healthy, we don't like no bunch of vegetables on that sandwich either. We don't want no tomatoes or pickles and lettuce on it. We want it to look just like that. We'll take some ketchup and mustard. Ketchup replaces the tomato. You keep the tomato, put the ketchup. Tomato makes the sandwich taste too runny. So it's just dry. And if you're somebody like me growing up, I'm eating two of these. I'm eating two of those sandwiches. I can't just eat one of those. That's not going to do nothing for me. I find that when I ate meat, I ate more because it didn't satisfy me. So I stuffed myself. It seems like I get full quicker on vegetables than I do on meat. I think the fries kind of fill me up some. But it seems like the meat, it seems like I just got to eat too much of it. And then you have a hard time passing it. You know? You have a hard time passing that meat. And so we losing young people in their 20s to colon cancer, 30s, 40s. And nobody's giving a 911 on the situation. Colorectal cancer rates are about 20% higher in Black Americans than in white Americans. But the deaths are almost 40% higher for Black people. So our deaths is 40% higher than anybody else's than white Americans when it comes to colon cancer. Who's at risk of colorectal cancer? They say ages 40 plus. Well, wait a minute. The brother was 43 and this brother was 32. That ain't 50. That's not 50. Chadwick was not 50. He was 43 and this brother was 32. So let's make it make some sense. 50. They're going to have to change the chart. Then they say family history. And family history is one of the worst things. I think when they say family history is one of the most distorted medical terms used because you eating just like the family. She says, my aunt passed away from colon cancer, age 62. She loved eating hot dogs and pork and beans, and she loved dry fruit. How long ago was that, Tanya? You know, they say family history, but the thing is, what the family do, you doing. They raising you. That was just 2 years ago. I'm sad to hear that. That would have been me. I would have been 2 years ago. I would have been 65. I'm 67. So family history, the problem with them saying family history is the family history means you're doing the same thing the family doing too. So they should make it clear. Is it being passed down from the family doing this? Or is it because you're doing the same thing the family doing? You eating the same food mommy and daddy or mommy or daddy is bringing into the house. So if my mother's eating something that's cancerous and she cooking it for me and she get cancer and I get cancer, is it a family history or is it the food history that the family has? Because it definitely looks like the ages are going down and down and down. And I got another presentation I'm going to do after this one that's going to blow your mind. I didn't want to stack it on top of the brother because I wanted to give him his respect. Let him rest in peace and try to help people that will come and see this and tell them don't go down that path. You say your aunt. Exactly, Tanya. Exactly. It's going to seem hereditary because we all just doing the same thing. We all just doing the same thing. And back in 1978, when I went and would get around my mother and father and everybody, and they seen I didn't eat meat, they didn't take it too well. They didn't like it. They didn't really like it. Tell me that's not strange. They didn't like it. They acted like it had something to do with them. They would make little statements, you know. They would say little things. I'd be down there eating. My daddy come down, I see you eating your rabbit food. You know? You say they say stuff, you say you don't eat meat, they say, oh, I'm so sorry for you. I know. They take it, you know. Finally, I got tired of it. I came downstairs and my daddy and mom was down there having breakfast. I said, I see y'all eating y'all aborted chickens and your pig flesh. My daddy said, Michael, don't say that. You messed up everybody's appetite. I said, well, don't say nothing when I'm eating. Because like I told my father, when I'm eating and you say something, I'm not going to lose my appetite. But with that stuff y'all eating, if I say something, you definitely going to lose your appetite. I'm not going to lose my appetite. My food's still going to look good because my food is natural. There's no animals on my plate. There's no bones on my plate. So stop saying something. Start pointing out all these bones. So when I called the eggs aborted chickens, they was like, they left me alone. I shouldn't have to do all that. So now when I go around people like that, I just say, no, thank you. I really don't go to a lot of events. Because the events to me, they look like they just promoting sickness. They do because it makes them feel some type of guilt and they have to try to fight the guilt. And off the top, they act like it has something to do with them. So they're not able to just face that you eat how you eat. Some kind of way they act like it has something to do with them. So that's why I don't go around them. That changed up my whole social way I live socially. I didn't go around. Uh, I can't go around because, especially black people, we don't have any events but eating events. All our events is eating and drinking alcohol. We have no functions that aren't centered around eating things that's bad for us and drinking things that's bad for us. All our events are destructive. Yeah, because all our are destructive and they don't know it. They're following the traditions of the American system. That's why in the Bible it speaks against following the traditions of your parents because they might have the traditions of the Babylon system. And so if the Babylon system teach your people these traditions, then they pass down these traditions. They're not necessarily positive traditions. And then you adopt them as family traditions when actually they're not. They're the system's tradition. Christmas is not a family tradition, it's a system's tradition. Thanksgiving is not a family tradition, it's the system tradition. The family don't have no traditions because the black family barely have family reunions. Instead of us having a family reunion every year, we trying to do Christmas and Thanksgiving. Straight up. We don't have family reunions. We try to let Christmas and Thanksgiving replace family reunions. So we slowly have been tearing our bodies down generation after generation. And the system don't see it. There's certain things that we could do to strengthen our colon. We can eat some carrots and tomatoes, cucumbers, strawberries, kale, blueberries, broccoli, pineapple, raspberry, grapefruit, spinach to strengthen our colon. But we're going to hit a wall. Now, Black Americans are the fastest growing vegans. Did y'all know that? Black Americans are the fastest growing vegan demographic in the country. A lot of people don't know this information, but this is absolutely true. Yes, research indicates that Black Americans are indeed the fastest growing vegan demographic in the United States. Several factors contribute to this trend, including health concerns, ethical considerations, and a desire to connect with cultural roots. Many Black Americans are turning to veganism to improve their health and address issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity, which disproportionately affect this community. A growing number of Black Americans are becoming vegan out of ethical concerns about animal rights and the environmental impact of meat production. Cultural connections. Veganism And plant-based ways of eating has historical roots in black culture and communities, including traditions like Rastafarianism, the Nation of Islam, and clearly hip hop culture. Celebrities, influencers, and social media have helped to increase the visibility and accessibility of veganism within the black community, making it easier to find resources and support. So we're the fastest growing group, right? When it comes to veganism. We're the fastest growing group. So we're doing pretty well. But the problem is it's not moving fast enough because the people and the culture are declining. So we're going to be talking about that in about 2 hours. Make sure you all come back. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share and subscribe. Make sure you support the channel and eat right and rest in peace to the brother that was just too young, only 32, been suffering since his late 20s, which is just horrible. You know, it's just horrible. It's a horrible situation. So young. So young. It's a horrible situation. And the same for Chadwick. Only 43. Been suffering since his late 30s and playing it off. You can see how skinny his face is on this picture compared to some of the other pictures. And so, try to encourage people to eat good the best you can. And the best encouragement is to stay on what you own. Keep eating how you eating. If you have like a parent that you're worried about and you help your parent eat better, you might not be able to get that parent to change. But what you could do is don't say anything. And when you go visit your mother, take her favorite fruit. Take her favorite vegetables. And say, oh, Mom, pass by the store, I grabbed this for you. That way, without saying anything, at least you helping her get that fruit into her body so she can move her bowels. Or it could be your father, or it could be your mother or your father. It could be a sibling that's older than you and you're worried about them. Find out their favorite fruit. And you show up sometime, hey, I bought you a watermelon. So they think it's just a gift. Yeah, I picked up one. I thought you would want one. But what you're really doing, you're trying to get that watermelon. You're trying to get that watermelon in that stomach to get some of them animals out that stomach. So that's a little trick. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, support the channel, Cash App, PayPal. And make sure you be ready to come check out this next live that's going to be going on at about maybe 5 or 6 o'clock, right? It's going to be crazy. And you're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. So stay positive, eat right, and exercise. Make sure you exercise. You got to stay in shape, all right? Vegan and victory all the time.